Hey guys, welcome to the studio. So the 3D model that I'll be showcasing today is Pepe's hammer from Arknights. And as you can see, there's going to be a lot of unique shaped parts. The assembly is, I would rate it as like an intermediate difficulty of assembly. The printing of it is gonna be pretty easy, but there are some specific steps that you're going to need to pay attention to for when you actually put this together, if you decide to make this for yourself, either for display or for cosplay. Without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you each of the parts. Alright, starting from the bottom, this is going to be the staff bot. I did not incorporate those little swirly patterns on this piece because that would be a nightmare, and I figured that it'd be all right to leave it as sort of a painting step for the person putting it together. Here, this is the staff gold ring. I just made it a separate, very small piece, just so that you could very easily spray paint it gold and then just put it in there, assemble it. That way it'll have a nice surface finish. Here is the gold flower 1. I would recommend spray painting this with gold and then painting the black parts black by hand. Here is gold flower 2. Same deal. Spray paint gold and then do touch up by hand. All right, we're gonna skip up to staff top here. As you can probably see, I left this part, this extruded section here, just not as an actual model or an STL that will be included in the model, because this is essentially going to be a 1-inch thick wooden dowel, or 2.7 centimeters thick. If anyone who's from Europe or any other country wants a adjustment or a different thickness, just go ahead and reach out to me, and then I can release another version with a different thickness. That'll be much easier, something that's not in freedom units. But that aside, yeah. So once again, this is staff top here. Just a fairly simple shape. You're not going to want to print it with the top side facing down on the print bed. Just print it as is right here. Just go ahead and eat the accept the wasted material for support on the bottom. That's primarily because of the eye here, how it is clipping up a little over the top. Here is staff top 2. Now this piece, it's a little complex in terms of shape, but you're going to want to print this upside down. And yeah, just make sure everything's dialed in, that way it can print it properly. Another thing to keep in mind are these holes on the bottom of staff top 2. I'll be circling back to that soon. Here's the big ring center, fairly simple shape. This will be in the center of the giant ring on top of her hammer. Here is big ring front. Here is front 1, front 2, front 3, and front 4, all making up the lotus pattern in front here. And then we have lotus 1, lotus 2, lotus 3, lotus 4, and lotus 5. I would recommend having a fairly decent size 3D printer if you're going to make all of this, because a lot of these chunks are like a decent size, and you're going to need just that extra bed size, the dimensions of your 3D printer, in order to print this all properly. It's really difficult it just makes assembly a lot more difficult if you have a small 3D printer for this particular project. And the thing about these lotus pieces here, they are, let's see, their tolerances allow it so that they embed into this sort of pattern. As you can see, it's dug out from this, like the front pieces here. Moving on, we will move on to big ring top. Fairly simple piece, just printed as is right here in this orientation. Then we have the top crown. Now this particular STL piece, it breaks a rule of 3D modeling that I have, where the way that this piece, you see how they're all at an angle facing inward. Normally you would not be able to assemble it this way. However, because they have holes on the very top, you can use a 8mm thick or 5/16 inch thick dowels and just sort of place it like this, line it up, and insert the dowels at an angle. It'll hold it in place, and then you just apply super glue at the bottom and at the top. Super glue or small dabs of epoxy, that will work. And then you just go around the circle, do some of it, do all of it. That's up to you. But it is a fairly fragile piece, so yeah. Here is big ring back. Now, I'm gonna show you how to assemble this in the model right here. Because this is a circular ring orientation, if you attach all pieces of the ring, you're gonna have a very difficult time normally inserting it into staff top 2. However, that's what you're going to want to do. The alignment rods will allow you to assemble them all together, all 3 pieces of the ring, and then you're going to want to line it up to these holes on the bottom. And then before you assemble staff top and staff top 2, you're going to want to insert wooden dowels 5/16 inch or 8mm thick up through the bottom, and then apply your glue or your adhesive, and then that way it will hold it all in place. Very similar principle as the crown. So be sure not to assemble staff top and staff top 2 before doing that step. This is like a part of that abacus looking ass thing. These holes here on either side of the interior of the big ring thing, you're gonna want to insert your 5/16 inch wooden dowels through here, and then just in case you mess up, I included these holes on the front here. That way you can very easily just insert it after the fact. However, I would recommend inserting the rods through here first, assemble the whole ring, and then add the rods through the bottom to secure it all in place. And this little abacus fucking ring thing, you can go ahead and print this off like 15 times or however many times. And it's fairly loose, that way through the support rods it can jangle and jingle as you swing it around. And this whole entire prop should be fairly sturdy actually. That will allow you to swing it around, not too crazy, but decent amount. Here is back 1, here is back 2, or back to A at least, back to B. They're just coming out from the back here, from the center to the back. This is back to C, just a small piece. There's only one of them. You can go ahead and print it off again just for the mirror side. The interior of these back to A and back to B pieces, you're just gonna want to sort of add some liners, like some, what is it, vinyl tape, vinyl transfer tape. That's what I like to use, and then spray paint it. That way you get nice, clean, crisp lines. You can do the very same thing with the pole section just to get the patterns, like those flat paint patterns that is on her prop. All right, moving on to the little spiky shit. This is back 3, back 4, back 5, back 6, back 7, and back 8. Now, because this is all assembled radially, very similar to Spectre the Unchained's weapon, you're going to want to assemble 3 pieces in the radial pattern, then assemble the next 3 pieces together, and then insert them together, both halves of the pie, all in one piece. That way, all the alignment rods are straight on connections. You don't want to assemble like 5 out of 6 pieces, and then now you have your missing piece and you can't fit it in there because everything's glued together, and then you screwed up, and then now you have to print everything again. You really don't want to, like, you want to take your time with the assembly of this. And likewise with those alignment rods, there are alignment holes here. Once again, 8mm or 5/16 inch holes. All right, we have this weird ass back canister thing. I really don't know what the hell this is for as far as weapon design, but whatever. And then we have this black cat, big ass fucking studded stamp thing. Yeah, It's pretty cool. It's fairly large print, but once again, this project is assuming that you have a decent size 3D printer. I believe a 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter print bed with a decent height will do the trick. But that aside, that is pretty much it for Pepe's hammer. There's a lot of pieces, a lot of unique pieces, and quite a few of them will involve some finagling in terms of the tolerances or the assembly. Once again, this assembly is not too difficult as long as you go nice and slow. Make sure everything is all lined up. As you can see, there are a lot of hole pieces. For example, in this center of the ring here, you have this hole, and it is aligned in here. You're just gonna want to take your time and then sort of do dry fits as you like just align everything up. And as you can see, there's this big old hole going through the center of this entire center hammer piece. It's gonna look a little ugly, but yeah, it's kind of necessary just for structural integrity. This is also a 1-inch wooden dowel that will be going through the entire center here. But anyway, yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. If you guys have any questions regarding this model or future models, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. If you guys are interested in finding this model, you can find it on my Patreon shop. I will be releasing it very soon. Anyway, that's pretty much it. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe for more. See ya!